What's up guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So today in Texas, it is a nice and toasty 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I know to some people that might not sound that cold, especially this time of year, but here in Texas, we really don't see this cold of a temperature. And you mix that with the fact that it is misting rain, so the roads are gonna get pretty slippery, pretty slick, kind of icy. So I was trying to find a video that we could do inside the car where it is nice, warm, and toasty. And I figured that today we're gonna do something a little bit different than what you might usually see on YouTube. To be honest, I really haven't seen any kind of videos like this, but it's something that I'm very interested in. And I thought that I would kind of show you guys how I have my Challenger configured as far as the settings and everything goes, just that way you guys can kind of get an idea of how I like it, just that way in case maybe you have a Challenger out there and you have it set up kind of for the most part how you like it, but maybe there's a few settings or something that you could tweak to kind of make it better for you. I don't really know if that makes much sense at all, but here we go. All right, so I figured that we can go ahead and start off with the gauge cluster. Now, starting up here in the top corner right here, I do have the range. I like to have that just so I can have a general idea of how far I have before, you know, I need to get more gas. And up here in the top right corner, I do have it set to the temperature. Just a good thing to kind of look at sometimes so you can see how hot or how cold it is outside. I do like to run with the speed right here. It's just really easy to look and glance at. And I do not have the miles down here just because it could be a little heartbreaking seeing those add up sometimes. Then right over here, I do like to have the full layout of the gears. I know some people like to just have the current gear, but I kind of like the way this fills up the space a little bit more. All right, now coming over here to the UConnect screen, this is the radio tab. I mainly just listen to SXM radio if I am listening to radio, but most of the time I have my phone connected right here under media. Right here is my phone tab. I really don't use this too much, to be honest. I mainly use Apple CarPlay. I really don't have my phone Bluetooth to the car that much. Right here, this is the apps tab. There's not really too much you can do over here. As you can see, I do have my mirror dimmer turned on just because sometimes there are people behind you with their brights on and it's just a little too much. So I do have that on. Right here for the audio, for the balance and the fade, I do just have it set right to the middle. I don't really know why you would have that set anyway else. Coming down to the equalizer, of course, I have the bass all the way up. I haven't messed with the mids. And then for the treble, I did add it 2 notches just to kind of equalize that out a little bit. For the speed adjust volume, I do have it set to 3, just so that way as I'm driving down the road with the louder exhaust, the music is just a little bit louder. So I do have it set like that. For the loudness, I do have that set to on. It says that it's supposed to improve the sound quality at lower volume, so I figured why not. And then for this aux volume offset, it doesn't let me do anything. And to be honest, I'd never use an aux cord in my Challenger anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Right here for climate, I will be honest, I do have it set on auto. Most of the time I liked how you can just kind of set it at a temperature, put it on auto, and the car just takes care of it for you. You don't have to worry about leaving the AC on too much, then you freeze yourself out, or you leave the heater on for too long and then you end up kind of sweaty. But since it is a nice chilly 30 degrees out, I do have it set to 80 degrees. So it's nice and toasty in here. But if it is kind of warm outside, I'll usually set it to 65 degrees and I'll leave that on auto. Now coming over here to the settings, for the language, of course, I have that set to English. And then for display, so for display mode, I have that on manual. Now for the display brightness, headlights on, I do have that set to 5. And then for the display brightness, headlights off, I have that set to 10, just so that way this is nice and bright during the day whenever my headlights are not on. And then for the touchscreen beep, I have that on. It's I just like to hear it whenever I'm making selections on the screen. Coming down to units, I like how it has a US metric and custom, because the rest of the world runs on the metric system, but the United States just has to be special. But I have it set to custom, and to be honest, custom is pretty much just the US setting. For the speed, I have that set to miles per hour, but you can set that to kilometers per hour if you need to. For distance, I have that set to miles, but you can also set that to kilometers if you need to. For the consumptions, I do have that set to miles per gallon because, well, that's what we use in the United States. And for pressure, I do have that set to PSI. And then if you go down one tab, you can choose between Celsius or Fahrenheit, and I have that set to Fahrenheit. So in all honesty, I could probably just have that set to US, but I have it set to custom. All right, now we have the voice settings. For the voice response length, I have that set to detailed, just that way sometimes if you're more focused on the road and you're trying to talk to the vehicle, it'll kind of detail everything out instead of saying something real quick and then you need to repeat it a couple times. And then for the show command list, I have that set to always, just in case you're wondering, that's whenever you hit this button right here, that's the voice recognition button, if that will focus. Whenever you hit this, a little menu will pop up and it'll tell you all of the different things that you can say to the car, and you can interact with that. All right, now we're gonna go down a page, and when we go to clock, so I do have this checked, that's to sync with GPS time, just that way, you know, whenever daylight savings or whatever rolls around, or if you're traveling, you know, you're traveling across the United States and you hit the different time zones, the car will automatically sync with the GPS. And I do have it set to a 12-hour clock. You can also set that to 24 hours if that's your thing. Now we're gonna go ahead with safety and driving assistance. So you can adjust the steering feel. You have normal, sport, and comfort. I kind of like to drive in comfort, although I will change it to sport sometimes. I never really leave it in normal, but I usually choose between sport or comfort. For the park view backup camera delay, I have that off. I don't want any kind of delay. Now you have the active park view backup camera guidelines. That's whenever you put it in reverse and you see these little bars right here. So I do leave those on. For the hill start assist, I leave that on because sometimes whenever I go over to like my parents' house, for example, their driveway is a very, very steep incline. And so I have that on. I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things. I just think it's better to have it on than not. Coming down to lights, you might remember this section from my video where I taught you how to turn on your daytime running lights. For the headlight off delay, I have that set to 0 seconds, so that way as soon as I turn off the vehicle, the lights will turn off. The headlight illumination on approach, I have that set to 0 seconds. And for those of you who may not know what that is, that's whenever you're coming up to your car and you unlock it and your headlights will turn on and it will stay on. But I never really unlock my car using my key fob. I usually just keep this in my pocket and I will unlock the car using the keyless entry. So you can just put your hand under the door handles and the car will automatically unlock. But if you do like to unlock your vehicle with your key fob, that is something that you could probably turn on and increase. Headlights with wipers, I do have that turned off, although I have heard that is it's a law in some places that if it's raining or sprinkling and you have your windshield wipers going, then you have to have your headlights on. But I have that turned off. I'm pretty good about having my headlights on. Like right now, it's a nice and gloomy day out and I do have my lights on. So I just keep that turned off, and I do run with my daytime running lights on. I personally like the way that looks, so I leave that on. And then flashlights with lock, I do have that on just that way whenever I lock the car, the lights will flash, and it's just nice to see that and know that your vehicle is locked. Going back, you have doors and locks. So auto unlock on exit, I have that turned on, so that way if you don't know, whenever you drive, the doors do lock, and so whenever you go to get out of the car, all you gotta do is open the door and the door will automatically unlock, and I believe it unlocks both doors. And then they have flashlights with lock. Again, I have that on. Sound horn with lock, you can have that off, first press and second press. So what that does is, if you were to unlock your car, whether with the key fob or if you push the button on the door handle, if you wanted to honk or not, I have it on first press. Some people like to turn that off, just some people I guess find it annoying, but I have it on just again so that way I know for sure that my vehicle is locked. And then remote door unlock all doors. What that is like, if you were to lock with this, it'll lock, well, all the doors. So I have that. And then passive entry, I do have that checked. Again, that's just for the keyless entry on the outside where the door handle is at. Coming down, you have your engine off options. The engine off power delay, I have that set to 0 seconds, and the headlight off delay, I also have that set to 0 seconds. So whenever you turn off your car, Like right now, if I was to turn off the vehicle, everything will go ahead and turn off. It won't leave power on the inside of the vehicle. And same thing with the headlights. If I was to turn the power off to the vehicle, the headlights will automatically turn off right away. And coming down, you have your audio. That is the same thing as right down here, so I'm not going to go over that again. And then you have your phone Bluetooth and your Sirius XM setup. You can also restore it to default settings, and then you can clear all of your personal data if you're getting ready to trade in your vehicle, I guess. So that about wraps it up for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this isn't really something that I've seen on YouTube too much, but it's something that I'm always very interested in whenever I see other Challengers or just other nice cars on the road. I always just kind of wonder how they have their setup and whatnot. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to let me know with a big thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe for new videos every single week. I'm really getting serious with it. Like I told you guys at the beginning of the year, I'm getting really serious with YouTube, and I really want to be the best YouTube content creator that I can be, at least. And I definitely see a lot of room for growth within the quote-unquote V6 community. I want you guys to leave a comment down below, and I want you guys to let me know if you guys do have a 2015 plus Dodge Challenger, whether or not you guys like to run with the amber daytime running lights on. I know that's kind of a hot topic. You know, some people like it, some people don't. Some people, they like the sinister look of the amber running lights. Other people just like the more clean look of just the white halos. So leave a comment down below and let me know if you guys have those on or not on your Challenger. And until my next video, take care and be safe. Peace.